Hello everyone. Today we are going to study about British expansion in India. As the trade of both the company and of private individuals in Asia grew in the first half of the 18th century, Indian rulers came under increasing pressure to yield political concessions. At that time, Indian power was still capable of containing the pretensions of the European trading companies on land and the British, with the garrison of 500 or so men at their principal settlements, and did not think they could achieve much. But the disintegration of the Mughal Empire and the dispatch of forces to India in 1740s to fight one another, the British and French were at war with each other in Europe, but the British and the French, on a large scale, changed the scene and made a possible acquisition of the British Empire in India. The British quickly built up armies capable not only of defeating the French but of forcing Indian rulers thereto immune to Europe military pressure. The Carnatic Wars, the companies clashed for the first time in the Mughal Suba of Carnatic, which had become nearly independent. Dupleix was then the chief official of the French company at Pondicherry. The French opened hostilities by sacking Fort St. George and expelling all Englishmen out of Madras 1746 and capturing it. Alarmed at the growing power of the French, the Nawab of Carnatic sent an army against the French. The Carnatic army was, however, defeated. French power was at its height in the first half of the 18th century. Their fortunes began to wane in the Second Carnatic War of 1748 and 54, when the two companies backed rival candidates to the Nawabship. The French were beaten and the candidates Chanda Sahib beheaded. Dupleix was recalled to France in 1754 and the two companies concluded a peace treaty. The final phase of the struggle for dominance started in 1756. The English soon established their hegemony over the rich provinces of Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa and made full use of the new resources. And the French were decisively defeated in the Battle of Vandivash on January 2, 1760. The French dream of an empire in India was destroyed. Formally, the war ended with the Treaty of Paris in 1763. The French were given trading rights. Pondicherry were also restored to them. The British conquest of Bengal. In Bengal, the British were motivated by a desire to control the resources of a rich province. They were also supported by the local bankers and merchants whose own interests were closely connected with those of the East India Company (EIC). The company enjoyed great privileges in Bengal on the basis of Farman 1717 granted by the Mughal Emperor Farrukhsiyar. It enabled them to export and import goods from the Bengal without paying any taxes. They exercised the right to issue passes, dastaks, for the movement of such goods. The Farman was a perpetual source of tension between the company and the Nawabs of Bengal because it meant loss of revenue to the Bengal government. The power to issue dastaks was misused by the servants of the company to evade taxes on their own private trade. The company also started levying large duties on goods coming into Calcutta. The Nawabs of Bengal, Murshid Quli Khan, Sarfraz Khan, and Ali Vardi Khan, objected the misuse of Farman and subjected them to periodic exactions backed by threats of force. They firmly suppressed the misuse of the dastaks as well. The matters, however, came to a head under Sirajud-Dowla. The company, besides openly abusing the trading rights granted to them, involved itself in the court intrigues against the Nawab. Further, in anticipation of a war with the French, who had a trading station at Chandernagar near Calcutta, they had begun to fortify Calcutta. The Nawabs rightly interpreted this as a challenge to his sovereignty. He ordered both the British and the French to demolish their fortification. While the French agreed, the British refused to do so. The furious Nawab attacked and took Calcutta in 1756 without much difficulty, and 146 British prisoners were thrown into a tiny room, later known as the Black Hole. All but 20 died of suffocation. The Black Hole incident later entered the folklore of British colonization, which was used to justify the events which followed. from Madras. A force under Robert Clive was immediately sent to Bengal. The Nawab had done nothing to consolidate his gains. Clive captured Chandranagar, and by January 1757, Calcutta was back in British hands. Clive was now out to depose the Nawab. A plot was hatched between the Indian bankers and the British. Mir Jafar was chosen as the puppet to replace the Nawab. Siraj-ud-Dawla was provoked into military action against the British. The Nawab's forces were defeated at Plassey, and that is in 1757, and the Nawab was put to death. Once the company had won their victory at Plassey, successive Nawabs Mir Jafar and Mir Qasim were exposed to a series of demands which destroyed their authority within 10 years. The company's hopes after Plassey that an independent Nawab might serve as an ally of the British plundered. Throughout Bengal, British traders defied the Nawab's customs administration and his forts. The abuses of the private traders provided at least the pretext on which Mir Qasim took up arms against the company in 1763. He was defeated and driven out of Bengal. He took refuge with Shuja-ud-Dawla, the Nawab of Awadh. The Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II had also fled to Awadh. Because of the intrigues at his court, the three formed an alliance and clashed with the company's forces at Buxar on October 22, 1764. The allies were thoroughly defeated. The East India Company secured the whole revenue of Bengal. Awadh was turned into an outpost of Bengal's defences, the Nawab paying for two brigades and assigning part of his revenue to the company. The Nawab had greatly reduced his own forces, thereby entrusting the defence of his territory to the British. The Mughal emperor became a virtual prisoner of the British and resided in Allahabad for 6 years.